morning, everyone. Got some phrase going on here. It's all good. So I am driving to work, and one of the things that I am thinking about is the desire to be light in spirit. It's something that I actually work on daily, so I feel like I made great strides in that area, but it's something that has to be continued to worked on upon by each of us. And it reminds me of going to the Oprah wellness conference this past weekend, and about how we come into this world so light as children, as babies, full of laughter and joy and excited and so in tune and so in touch with God. And then along the way, we're so vulnerable because we don't have fear, that we have life experiences that kind of chip away at who we truly are. You know, dealing with other adults who just have negative emotions about and fear about who they become in their life experience, and then they place it on children and even parents. I mean, we can do that ourselves too. You know, if we're not mindful of the baggage that we can pass on to our children, whether it's fear, anxiety, hurt, pain, and then slowly but surely, if we're not mindful of these things, if we're not dealing with our own negative emotions and our own baggage, we find ourselves changing the true or manipulating the true personality of our children. And then that same child who's vibrant, who's happy, who's loving, who's so joyful, starts crying all the time, starts walking with his or her head down, and just seems sad. And then we wonder, well, what's going on? Well, why is this child so sad? And it just kind of brings you to question, if you're being mindful of it, is it something that, we, us, or inadvertently or accidentally transitioning and passing on to our children because we're not taking the time to pray, to meditate, to prioritize and put ourselves first. I think when I think about, for me, especially since I became a parent, I think a lot of the teachings that I received have always been circled around, you got to put your children first, quit your job, leave this, do this, because you got to make sure your children are taken care of, and they should be the first priority. Now, as I've evolved, I think there's some truth in that, but I think it goes deeper than that as well. Of course, no parent will ever leave their children stranded, hungry, or lacking or without. But I feel like as parents, we have a number one responsibility, or at least I feel that way, that, I should be first priority. I should wake up first thing in the morning before my children get up, and I need to do things that will dictate and focus and determine how my day is going to be. I should wake up first thing in the morning and clear my mind and show gratitude to God and the things that are around me. I should wake up first thing in the morning and meditate and just get centered and see how God wants me to handle my day and what He wants me to accomplish. And I should take time for spiritual wellness and for healing, and take time to have breaks. I mean, how many times I've done it myself where, you're spazzing out, or you're upset and you're lashing out on your family, and it really has nothing to do with something that they've done. Your child just may be just being a little kid, I mean, have you not written on a wall before, as a child? They're just exploring, it's things that they just do. But it's the fact that I didn't take the time to check my emotions and just calm down and make sure I put myself at the top of my priority list by doing things that make me feel happy. So when I walk into a room, whether it's a room with my family or a room with strangers, that I'm able to deliver my best self because I'm completely satisfied and happy in who I've become. Now, as I've gotten older, I'm starting to take some trips to go visit my girlfriends or to go to conferences. That's something that's very important to me, whether it's like women's empowerment or wellness, just so I can learn. I noticed that, Lauren is a little bit older, and she's, she gets sad whenever I leave, and she doesn't want me to go. And initially, it was extremely hard for me to leave. I used to feel very guilty. But now, although, I still want to be with her and love on her, I find ways to show her that what I'm doing is important. It's important for me, and it's important that I'm setting the example for her. And even though she may not understand it right now, hopefully one day she'll understand it when she gets older, the need for women to care, support, and encourage themselves and encourage others so we can be the best versions of ourselves. And I think that's a very important lesson for her to learn. What better person for her to learn it from than her mother? So I'm just curious to see what other people do for spiritual wellness. Are you the best version of yourself right now? I am honestly extremely happy with my life and how it has evolved. I do feel like I show up in a room and I'm very happy. I'm always smiling. Doesn't mean that I don't have tough moments. I mean, anybody that knows me, I just recently lost my dad, and that has been very challenging, but I do feel like he's around me because I do believe in the spirit, and I'm still connected to him and will always be forever. But there's some areas that I need to improve on as well. There will always be areas that I need to improve on. But at the end of the day, I wasn't always able to say this, but at the end of the day, I truly feel like I am living my best life, and I'm happy. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for my parents. I'm grateful for my entire family. I'm grateful for my job. I'm grateful for opportunities and rooms that I'm able to enter that I wasn't always able to enter in before. And 2020 has just begun, and it has started in a major way. And I know each chapter moving forward will be solely dependent on myself, my belief system, my vision for myself, and God, of course, his vision for me. And I'm just excited. And I am ready and willing and always able to do the work required to shed myself of past mistakes, past baggage, so that when I walk into a room, I'm happy, joyous, excited, and just loving. So, I don't know what made me want to share that message this morning, but it's just something that I was thinking about. I'm interested to see what other people do. Are you truly happy with where you are right now? If not, what are some things that you feel like you could do to make yourself happier, to help your life evolve emotionally? I hate seeing people sad. I really do. You just never know what people are going through. I know a lot of people just in my close circle who've, whether they've dealt with death, some type of loss, financial strain, etc., and even strangers. I mean, just people going through some really tough stuff, things that we can't even imagine. How it makes someone feel to find out they're diagnosed with a terminal illness. So I always try to make sure that, even though somebody may not feel comfortable coming to me and sharing with me what they're going through, in that very moment, I never want to be that type of person that gives them more pain or says something mean towards someone. It's just not my nature. So just be the light in somebody's world. I know it may sound like I just see rainbows and stars everywhere, and it may seem superficial to some, but I really do. I try, and I do see the light in everything, and happiness all around us and joy is all around us. And I hope that you, and I know that you can, get to a place of happiness and joy and laughter, and that you're able to have a good week and a great year. And I love anybody who received this message and that it has touched. And I pray abundance over your life and your children's life, healing over your families. And I love you all. Take care.